Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Friday. This is Devils After Dark, coming to you live from Vinnie Parise's wedding in Chicago, Illinois, and then cross-continent to the Michael J. Fox Studios in Beverly Hills, California. It's Scotty, a Sirius XM Liquid Metal. Stream it live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, on the Let's Go Devils Network. As the Devils, again, shut out 3-0 to the Vegas Golden Knights tonight at the Rock. Not much to talk about. Lots of complaints I'm seeing in the YouTube Live. I got X.
I'm seeing some things.
Yep.
I'm seeing some things.
Scotty.
But you're
There we go.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Yep.
Am I muted?
there we go. We got-
Hey.
there it is. There we go. We got Shorts Guy as well, and Sam Woo live from the wedding. Now we're like mid toast over there, aren't we? Is that what Sam Woo was saying?
There's been a whole bunch of toasts at this point.
There's been multiple toasts.
It's a
You know what?
Midwestern wedding.
Yeah, this is like a whole cultural big difference that we're seeing.
Yeah.
It's been a good time, but Scotty, I gotta say, the Devils have been playing so bad that guess what Sam Woo's got in his hand?
I picked up
I've
drinking,
heard.
guys.
They drove him to
Driven
drinking.
Sam Woo to, yeah.
Now, wow! Look at Sam go. Does Mrs. Woo know about this?
Nah.
Was this
Nah.
information shared with Miss? Okay.
Nick Villano is keeping Mrs. Woo busy right now. He's distracting her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've got
All right.
McDonald's coming on DoorDash.
Yeah. I ate the salad, though.
No, he did eat the salad. He ate the
I
salad. and
ate
he
the real
liked it.
salad, too. And I
Yeah.
liked it.
I witnessed
Well, I think the McDonald's might work on Mr. Woo. I don't know if the McDonald's is going to distract Mrs. Woo though as much. You know.
Well, that's why
Oh, there he goes.
it. That's why Mrs.
He's
Woo's
down
got to
in
be
some more.
distracted.
Oh boy,
Yeah. You know what, though?
Sam's on the rocks.
Wimpy called a 3-0 Vegas victory when we were on Game Day Live tonight.
Yeah.
Immediately after
Wow.
the nuptials, we went live, which I don't know any other Devils podcasts that go live from immediately after one of the co-hosts' weddings.
Yeah.
Sponsored by the bride, by the way. She wanted this.
Yes.
Just throw that out there. The bride, Katie, wanted this. Katie was like, yes. Game Day Live at our wedding. And then Wimpy called 3-0. And we might have another guest coming on.
Yeah. Well,
Uh-oh. The DoorDash did not get here with McDonald's at
Yeah.
all. There's no McDonald's coming.
all right. Well, why don't we recap this game, Scotty?
Yeah, we'll get to the recap and then we'll check in to see what's going on with all the festivities there at Vinnie's wedding, live from the greater Chicago area. Sam Woo was talking to me he's like, dude, he's like, Midwestern weddings are pretty awesome. By the way, that's a non-alcoholic beverage that Sam Woo was chugging over there. I would love to see Sam Woo try to chug a real beer, though. That would be pretty exciting. Hello, everybody. Facebook, YouTube, Insta, X. I know. We're all a little upset. We're all a little upset. I'm a little upset. You're a little upset. But we're going to go through it. We're going to get through this together. I see Wimpy. I see Dubs. I see Robert Isaacson. AJ Visco, South Fork Yeti. It's funny, AJ and I, the other day, not even a mere week ago, we were predicting back-to-back shutouts for the Devils. And here we are talking about them getting shut out back-to-back, all within the span of a week. It's pretty crazy, the highs and lows of the old NHL season. Steven Angle, Corridor of covers is better than this Devils team. Well, thank you, Mike Rossi. We need a drunk Sam Woo therapy session. Now, yeah. No. That's a non-alcoholic beverage for our boy Sam. We can let the joke go on, but I don't want anyone to get worried about old Sam over there. Devil in disguise. What's up? What's up? All right. Supernova, Selecta. Devils, Mets. There we go. Okay, Fitz needs to be fired. I'm sure there's going to be some people who are talking like that. And, this is not what any Devils fan wanted to see here. We've been preaching all season long about this team being so good at home. 9-0-1, baby. 4-game losing streak now, which is not good. Not good. And the Dallas Stars game was like, okay, this should be a wake-up call. They're probably pretty tired. They got to pull together. They're going to have back-to-back coming up. They got a tough schedule because of this stupid Olympic break. By the way, why don't we just... Is it just me? Just send the kids from the World Juniors, the 18 and 19-year-old kids. Just send them and let them play for the Olympics. Whatever. But either way, ridiculous schedule. Team looks worn out. And of course, we have a returning former goaltender. So you know what that means. They are going to play like the great Marty Brodeur in net. And does anyone know what goaltenders who the Devils traded and they're returning, what is their goal against average? Or their save percentage is going to be 980 or something like that. It feels like. Just recently with Blackwood and the Wedgwood. I'm sorry, Wedgwood, and now Akira Schmid. Hell's bells in the Blue Jackets game. Friggin' Miles Wood scored the 5th goal. I don't understand this goaltending thing. It's like the curse of it's the Brodeur Blues. This is the curse for Marty getting traded to the Blues and having to play 10 games in that uniform or whatever. The Brodeur Blues. The Blues of Brodeur. The curse of Blue Brodeur. I don't know. There's a B&B. We can make up something at some point. But seriously, why do all these returning goaltenders just play like Vezina candidates? Out of freaking nowhere. But the Devils, you know what? In this game, they didn't play great or really good. But they had moments where they were getting opportunities and everything like that. But how many times are you well, they just need to do what they're doing, creating those opportunities? No, you need to finish. You need to finish. You can get all the opportunities you want, but you got to have some finish. Right now, it just feels like this team is just don't got that finish. Is that Jack Hughes swagger that's missing? That's what it's been in recent years. I don't know. Or is it just the curse of the Brodeur Blues? Every returning goalie that we have let go since Martin Brodeur went to St. Louis comes back with a vengeance. I don't know. Akira Schmid got a shutout, by the way, 3-0. What is 2 power play goals in the third period, by the way, as well. I mean, come on. Devils got 2 power play chances. Again, it seems like every game recently, these power plays you've been feeling, this is the gotta have it. Gotta score here. Here's your shot. Here's your opening. 2 third periods, nothing. 2 third period power plays, nothing for the Devils. 2 third period power plays for the Vegas Golden Knights, 2 power play goals. And I do believe, the third one, Barbashev, Eichel shot that and then was kind of laying around there. Not the best one on Markey, but the other two goals were both redirections. I thought Markstrom actually played pretty good. I mean, for the majority of this game, it was 1-0. When did they get that? 15:36, they got the second goal to make it 2-0. And then 18:36, the third goal. The third one was just kind of like left out there, and Barbashev just was able to poke it in. But the other two were redirections, right? Because Mitch Marner shot the second one, but then it got tipped and went back the other way, away from Markey's glove. So he didn't play. The last goal was, like we said, but the other two, defense isn't filling up those lanes. 11 block shots tonight, so at least they made it to double digits. But look at Vegas, 23. 23 block shots. There you go. You want to know why the Devils aren't scoring? Because people are just clogging up the lanes and letting them skate around the outside of the perimeter of the zone. Go ahead, skate to your heart's content in circles around here, but we're just going to close everything down in the middle. They got to figure out a way around that. Can't be just throw Jack Hughes out there and the other team panics and doesn't know what to do. Got to come up with something. Got to break this cycle. And I love his name. What is it? Angus? Old Angus Crookshank? Angus Crookshank in the lineup. That's such a damn good name right there. Old Crook, get me Crookshank on the phone. Sounds like the long lost member of AC/DC. Angus Young? No. Crookshank. Hey, but good for good old Angus. Shots on goal, by the way, for the Devils. 5, 11, 8 for a total of 24. So they did good at some points. In that second, they played a little better, but slow as hell in the first. Vegas, 13, 7, 5 for a total of 25. Vegas, rolling deuces on those power plays. 2 for 2. 100%. Devils, 0 for 2. When you got to have a goal, when it matters for the game, there's your story right there. You're down 1-0 going into the third. That's it. You score on at least just one of those, you tie the game up. Scoring 2, you're taking the lead. So it was a failure there on special teams, defense, hits. Only 15 hits. We've been seeing the Devils hit a lot more. So overall, it wasn't too good. Another shutout at home in the first part of a back-to-back. Hello, Sam. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm here with pucksandpitchforks.com's editor-in-chief, Nick Villano, right now.
Yeah, I don't go hello, Scotty.
Hello.
You
there we
rarely
go.
see
Okay.
me, and I don't even get a hello.
I got you now. I got you.
Damn.
Let me move my windows.
That almost hurt as bad as watching that game.
I mean, it wasn't pretty, that's for sure.
Here's the thing. I was Mr. Patience for weeks. So you just gotta wait. You gotta go 500 with Jack out. You know, there's guys in the Metro are gonna fall off. It's an unsustainable pace, and I still think it's an unsustainable pace that this division's going on. But I'm not worried about what they look like against other teams. I'm worried about what they look like on the ice. And when your coach comes out and says, you look lifeless, and then you repeat the performance, I am one, with Lindy Ruff, I was pretty negative on him. I was against a lot of people saying there's a culture problem here. But do they just not watch themselves? It's almost like you wonder if when like those people who like act crazy in public, like, and then you show them a video of themselves, you're like, oh, it's almost, like I feel like it's that. Like, do you not see yourself in public or on the ice like that? You just look lifeless and dead. You're down.
Mm-hmm.
You're down 1-0, and generated most of nothing in the third period for the second night in a row. You were down 1-0, and you couldn't like drum up some energy. Like, are they tired? Are they? I was talking to Sam while you were going. You were doing your recap, Scotty, and I said they got to do something meaningful. And I don't want to go too far. There is you're either going to make the right move or the big mistake. There's really no in-between here. And a big mistake could be doing nothing. But this is your pivot point in the Tom Fitzgerald regime. You either create a Stanley Cup contender for years to come, or you put them back in a rebuild. I don't see an in-between here. This is going one of two ways. I don't see them being what Carolina is right now. You're either going to, these guys are going to develop, and you're going to build the right pieces around them to be, at least what Edmonton is, where you're going to the Stanley Cup final, or you're screwed up, and you're going to be what Buffalo is, where you have all this talent and nothing to show for it, and can't even make the playoffs. And, Scotty, on the pregame show, you weren't here for that, but I said you just got to make the Quinn trade. And the way you do that is you go to Vancouver, and you say, hey, I'm going to give you Nemitz, I'm going to give you Mercer, I'm going to give you a first-round pick and a second-round pick. Nobody's going to match that right now, but it's today. And if you say no, I'm going public and saying I'm out. The Devils are out on Quinn Hughes until he hits free agency. We'll wait. And I'll send a message to Quinn Hughes that we'll pay you whatever you want, but you come here in free agency.
And tells us all we have to wait 2 years.
Go out in public. Trotz does it all the time. So be the guy who goes out in public and say, this is it. And then you remove Vancouver's negotiating power, and they're either going to have to take a lesser deal from Detroit or come back begging the Devils, and then you give them a lesser deal. Then you take off the first round pick, you get a second round pick, Nemitz and Mercer. You know what I mean? So like there's a way where Tom Fitzgerald has to actually like put some big boy pants on, and has to risk not winning a trade. Because I think that was the big problem with Fitz, is that he wins a lot of trades, but he only trades the ones that he wins. He doesn't take the big swing, except for with Timo. And Timo wasn't – I don't feel like Timo was a big swing. You didn't put Holtz in the Timo trade. You didn't put any of your top prospects in the Timo trade. You put Shakir Mukhamadullin, who was a stretch, and you took him anyway. Like they were scouting Rodon Amarov, the late Maple Leafs prospect, when they just saw Mukhamadullin. They had a third first-round pick and no second-round pick, so they kind of took a chance on him. That's the biggest thing you give up. And everybody talks about Zetterlund. Zetterlund's a fourth-line guy with us, with upside, but he didn't give up anything that takes cojones. He's just got to do it. You lucked into the second overall pick. You lucked into him looking like a superstar this year, but now it's like that's kind of fallen off. Right, the past 3 or 4 games, like he hasn't looked like that guy, even with the puck. Him and Luke was a disaster together. Nemitz hasn't looked. I mean, I would put the Nemitz-Siegenthaler line together immediately, because Hamilton-Siegenthaler doesn't work. Nemitz and White doesn't work, but I think White and Hamilton would look a lot better, and I think Siegenthaler and Nemitz have looked good together. So. There's things that Keefe can do, but like it's up to Fitz now because it's
gotta make a move.
The message isn't getting through.
Yeah.
Like it's Keefe called you out, called you lifeless in front of everybody, and you repeated the performance. You thought you were going to do anything against Vegas. They actually looked pretty good against what was the game before the Stars game?
Columbus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look like they had life
pretty
against
good.
Columbus.
They look pretty good against Columbus. But the problem is that they got too stuck in the mud. there, right? You were too focused on fighting and brawling and all these other things that you kind of forgot to play offense. And you saw that in the third period. And then since that third period, like, it's just the Dallas game, people look at XG and all these advanced stats, and I was like, listen, Sam knows, I will fight for advanced stats. They're not, they have to make sense, though. They have to be compared to the on-ice product. The on-ice product's terrible. If you're allowing 7 scorable chances a game, but the XG only says 3, like, I'm going to believe my eyes over the XG because I saw a breakaway. And a breakaway is not a 1 XG, but, like, it's like a 50-50 shot. You're going to score a goal. Anyway, and you're not, the big problem is that you're not getting them. You're not getting breakaways. You're not getting 2-on-1s. You're not getting rebound chances. You're not even getting shots on goal.
No.
Like the shots, you're getting singular shots on goal that are either gloved down or deflected in the corner. And most of your shots, would you say the blocks were? It was like 11 to 23 or 24, Scotty?
Yes.
Gross. That's gross.
Yeah.
That's gross. I'm angry. I'm going to keep talking if you let me talk. I'm just going to sip
You
my
should just start
juice
drinking.
box. I'm sipping my juice box.
I just watched Vinnie and Katie have their first dance. It was very nice.
Oh.
It brought a
We missed
very
it.
happy vibe to this otherwise, dismal Devil's night.
I might have to take the helmet cam and go in there.
I think you might have to.
I think it's over.
Because the dance floor is open. Vinny's out there.
Not sure if it would stretch in that room, but
Yeah, well,
We
we're
could
going to
try.
find out. It'll be like the walkout. Except it's the walk-in. Oh, Sam's got another beer, by the way, Scotty. He's going to have to pound it.
Okay.
So he's going to chug another beer. Oh.
Yeah, but this,
Well, I see
the
you got
team
a water.
Yeah, well, Rocky Mountain water over here.
Sorry. I'm going to go back drinking my juice box.
No, but this was obviously it was a rough game for the team here. They do need to somehow kind of make things get moving again in a positive light. I mean, I don't know.
Nothing there. Nothing.
They gotta create something at some point.
I will say this, Scotty. They lost 6 in a row in 22-23. That miraculous year, but they didn't look like this. That was like goalie. Like, Blackwood wasn't playing well, I think, and a little bit of bad luck. This is bad luck. You deserve to lose every game.
Yeah, no, they aren't. They're not. They don't have any finish. They lost their Jack swagger all of a sudden.
Are you saying we need Sammy
Nico went on
Vatanen?
a hot
We need little
run.
finish.
We need finish. I mean, that's the one thing I would say. If you're looking to trade Dawson Mercer, he's one of your hottest scorers. How is that gonna? That's not gonna be good.
Scotty, do you know who our hottest scorer is right now?
I mean, there's 3-4 guys tied with 10, and one of them
Nobody's
is Jack
our hottest
Hughes,
scorer
and
right
he
now. We just went 2 games in a row without a goal.
Well, I'm just saying, our best scorer hasn't played in like 3 weeks here.
I understand.
And, we got 3 guys like tied at 10 or 4 with Jack.
There's enough talent on this team to avoid this, even against Dallas and Vegas. There's enough offensive talent, especially on the back end. You got Nemitz and Hughes and Hamilton. Like, they should be – they're not driving chances. And that's a repeat from last year. Last year they weren't driving offensive chances, and that was a huge problem. Like, Luke Hughes hasn't figured out – I think he's done a great job of figuring out most of the defense. He makes stupid mistakes in the defensive end, but outside of that, I actually like a lot of what he does defensively. I think he gets to pucks. I think he's really good at breaking up 2-on-1s. But the offense, he hasn't figured it out, which is weird. We all thought that was going to be the easy part.
The upside, yeah.
It's just not coming to him. Like if Luke Hughes played like Nemitz, and they both played like that, like with that aggressive style, like a shot that gets through, I think this team would have 4 more goals in the last 2 weeks, at least. If Luke Hughes played like that, but having like Hamilton is clearly just. I think the trade rumors really mess with him. He just hasn't looked right this year. The attributes back it up. If you go on NHL Edge stats, like his speed isn't there, his shot power isn't there. Like his actual attributes are back are not what they were last year, and then yeah. So anyway, it's a defense problem with the offense is not coming from the defenseman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Luke's he doesn't have the goals for this year. He's got 13 assists, 14 points on the year. Obviously, Nemitz has played well in clutch situations. The Dougie situation there, he hasn't returned to form after these injuries. It just seemed like. And then, the main thing is the loss of Brett Pesce. I mean, you can see it every night when they only have like 8, 9, 10 block shots. It's
Right.
just people are able to get shots through on them. And the traffic in front, Markstrom has been a little shaky in net, and he hasn't been able to control his rebounds as much, and it's creating a lot of those second high danger opportunities. And if the defense is not closing down on there, it's going to lead to goals. There's no way around it. Now, has the goaltending been super solid all year? No. But I do see improvement in Markstrom. It definitely seems like he was fighting something for a while. Jake the Snake has played well, but he's also had a couple of, 1 or 2 bad games here. So they're both human. And, the goaltending has to stay. If this team is going to go somewhere, the goaltending has to be timely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more worried about the defenseman than I am about the goalie. It's just because I feel like they're veterans. I feel like one of them's going to break out. I still think you have that, in case of real emergency, break Nico Dawes glass. I think there's some things you can do at goaltender. Defenseman, I apparently Pesci's a while away. And I like Colton White, what he's brought from a depth perspective. He's been okay. I just don't know why. I mean, the real problem is that we got, I guess it's every other year Siegenthaler now. Like 1 year he's one of the best defensive defensemen in the league, and the next year he's kind of not.
Getting in the way.
Right, like he's a pylon. Here's the problem with Siegenthaler. Just from my analysis, that he'll get the first poke, but it's not a good enough. Like a Jacob Slavin poke stops a guy because it's behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Siegenthaler will break up the play, but the guy regains possession and continues with what he was doing. And then now he's behind because he did the poke. I was very critical of the last year Lindy Ruff. Ryan McGill's system was no body, all poke. And it seems like Siegenthaler's kind of reverted back to that a little bit, even though that's not Keith's system. Keith's system is kind of like get your body into it and break up plays that way. I got nothing for them. Like they need to make a move. That's why you bring in Quinn, because Quinn's going to be a breath of life into this defense. And I think there's a famous story about LeBron James. He was with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think it was the year they won the championship. And he was just kind of like, they were trying to go through the motions in January or February. And he was just like, he was leaning on a locker or something. And just kind of like looking down like, man, like we're just kind of going through the doldrums. And then they traded for Timothy Mozgov. And he was like, okay, like this team, they believe in this team. I believe in this team. Let's go. And like Mozgov is not Quinn Hughes, right? It's not a comparable, but it's that inflection of
New
life.
blood.
Yeah.
New blood. It's new blood coming in.
You just have to inflect new energy into the building. And it's just not happening right now.
Well, I mean, I think it also goes with Kovacevic and Pesce being out right now. You bring those guys back in, you're not looking at a Colton White or a Cholowski in there. You have a completely different mindset, and you don't have Siegenthaler probably playing a lot more minutes than he's used to, and he's going to be with his defensive, like-minded partner in Kovacevic, where they know each other a little bit better. You know, if Siegs is going to be playing with Dougie or with Nemitz or something like that, like at times they're going to be pinching, and he's going to have to cover a lot more ground. I think these two big injuries are key factors, and Kovacevic provided a lot of toughness for this team last year. They block shots, both of them, Pesce and Pesce and Luke seem to get along really well. Luke seems to play his best when he's got Brett Pesce by his side so
does.
far.
That's fair.
So
But Scotty,
that's where I'm saying, like, I don't know, like, you're going to have these two guys back probably in January. If you go and you make a trade for Quinn Hughes, now you have so many guys on your defensive side with Dougie and Dylan and Pesci and Kovacevic and Siegenthaler and Luke. You know, like, are you going to trade Nemitz? Like,
you're definitely
the
gonna
fan
trade
base
Nemitz.
may not like that so much.
To bring in
I don't
to
know
bring in
any-
Quinn,
Yeah, I know.
I feel like they'd be like, Simone who?
Yeah,
If Quinn comes in for it,
there will be people
Well,
who are
he's
upset,
he's
but, like,
Simone, the
yeah,
guy
the-
that's giving you a lot of offense at a
is.
very cheap price right there, as opposed to Quinn Hughes and a Dougie Hamilton on the same back line there. You're going
Well, I
to be
think
paying quite a pretty penny for.
I think you have to figure out how to offload Dougie in the deal.
if Quinn comes
I
in,
mean,
whether
that's
it's
if Quinn
I-
comes
I-
in, yeah,
I
you
talked
gotta,
about
you gotta
this.
move Dougie.
Yeah, I talked about a couple of deals on Pucks and Pitchforks where Dougie goes to Toronto. Toronto trades a couple pieces to Vancouver to like offset, some of the prices that the Devils would pay, and then you still send Simon Nemitz to Vancouver. So Vancouver gets, Vancouver's going to want a lot, but I think that.
I mean, we don't have to give it to him though. I'm of the like. See, I don't know. I don't think you trade.
But then Fitzgerald's going to get
Nemitz
fired,
and
so he's
Mercer
not even
right
going to
now.
see it. So it doesn't matter.
What's that?
Fitzgerald is not going to last 2 years until Quinn Hughes is available. With this,
That's a possibility.
do you
It's a
think?
possibility.
Do you think if he misses the playoffs in the next 2 years, that Fitzgerald will be here to sign Quinn Hughes?
If we miss the playoffs, no. But we have to miss them first,
Right,
as well.
I have
mean,
been on the record, even if they don't make the Quinn Hughes trade, I have been on the record. I think 2026 is a much better year than 2025 calendar year. I think this has been a terrible calendar year for them. So much bad luck, so much terrible play. Even if they don't make a move, I think this team is making the playoffs. But this looks like a wild card team right now at best. With
And
Jack
you
Hughes
don't want
on
that.
it. Adding Jack Hughes to it makes them a wild card team, and that's just not where I want to be when I'm paying Sheldon Keefe, the GDP of Zimbabwe, and this roster is way above the salary cap.
Yeah.
And you're looking like this. And I get the injuries. Like, I think Zach McEwen is a huge loss, which is weird because he's just a fourth liner. But not weird is probably the wrong word. But I think he was such a perfect fit for this lineup. It really helped that bottom six. Dadonov hasn't fit per se, but he's better than Lemico or – I liked Crookshank tonight. I thought he looked all right. I thought he did some things that they've needed, like a little energy, like you said. But if I'm the Devils, at this point, I'm just like, bring up all the guys. I'll
At this point, yeah, who
just put Glenn. You could bury Glendening, you could bury Lemico, you could bury all these guys. So put them in the AHL, give them a veteran presence, and call up a couple of the guys like Hallinan, a couple of guys who like desperate a little bit. I need a little desperation in this lineup because something's just not desperate enough for this situation that they're in. They're going to be out of the playoffs after tonight, right?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they could be. They could be in even last place if I'm not, or tied for last place in the Metro.
Oof.
I mean, but let's also keep this in perspective. Everyone is separated by like 4 points. This is not like they can win 2 games in a row and they'll be
I
back in
understand,
first
but there-
place.
Yeah,
So
there's
it's tight. That's definitely.
But that's also part of the desperation that I'm not seeing. You know how close it is, and every night matters. But why doesn't it matter to you?
I personally think that they're just worn down from this schedule already, and the
And that's fair.
injuries have paid their toll, and it sucks, and it shouldn't be used as an excuse. But even that the Blue Jackets game where they ended up playing with 4 defensemen for the majority of it because of the Dylan situation.
Right.
It's just like you said. It's just like bad luck after bad luck, and it happens to be right in the middle of a stretch where you have 8 games in 10 days or whatever it is, or 8 games in 11 days. Like it sucks. It sucks right now, and they need a break, and they're not going to get one because they're going to go on a plane right now and go up to Boston. But this is the schedule. This is the stupidness with doing this Olympic break, where you have to condense everything so you give everyone all this time off for the Olympics and stop the whole season. Everyone wants to do it. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. Like I said, I'd rather them send like all the juniors, like 18 and 19-year-old kids that play like in the World Juniors, and let them play and get a nice showcase. Like this sucks because you see the teams. It's not just the Devils. It's teams all across the NHL as well.
Yeah,
are dealing with this.
exactly.
And that's what's going to happen.
But is this ever going to change? Because they want to do the World Cup of Hockey every year. Like they want to do something every year that's going to condense the schedule. And they're adding 2 more games. Next year they have 84.
Yeah.
Like all these injuries happening across the league is because of attrition. Like it's too many games in too little of a time.
So do you?
We were looking at the schedule in April.
Yeah, it's insane.
They have a stretch where it's like 2 weeks where they have 8 games.
It's something. It's crazy.
Or
like
no, it was less
yeah.
than that. It was 12. It was at least 6 games in 12 days.
Yeah.
Where do you
going
practice?
into the
Where do you
playoffs.
get things like
Going
right?
into the playoff run.
Right in April.
That's a huge part of it as well. When
Yeah.
do these guys actually have opportunity to practice?
Which they don't.
Because
but
the
they
one
don't.
day they have off, they're probably actually going to take off so they can rest up because they're going back out for another back-to-back right after that.
It's what was it just like the last season we started in Europe the season we started in Europe I feel like we didn't have any opportunity to practice.
That was last year.
That was it. It was
And it was Sheldon Q's first year.
all kinds of like game and like no practice time. So we looked terrible and we kept making the same stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, they gotta clean this up.
Yep.
The only I don't know if it's good news or bad news, but they're going to be back at it tomorrow up in Boston.
Yeah.
So maybe you know what? Maybe getting out on the road, getting back out there, we'll snap
be
them
the
back
better road
into
team.
things. Maybe maybe the second half of the season they'll start playing as a better road team. We'll see. I hope they still play well at home. I'd not like to see the 4 and 5 game home losing streaks.
The shorts guy jersey hasn't been at the Rock in a while, so and the Devils haven't won at home in a while, so I think I have to change that this week. But
I think I got to show up to the Rock.
I think so
we haven't
too.
lost it while I've been at the Rock this
and
year.
we have to deal with
And
Vinnie's
Sam Woo's Palat jersey.
Yes, and we
That's
have
the
to,
first domino to fall.
Or
Yeah,
maybe
in
I should do a
the
big
pyramid
stage
of
event.
trades.
Big stage event when minus 5 degrees outside.
Or do we go live from outside the steakhouse while we're here in Chicago? Exercise that demon.
So let's go find Chicago.
Yeah, we
Cut.
got to go
We're
to
gonna
Chicago
introduce
Cut
Chicago.
tomorrow.
You
and
guys,
figure this thing
you
out.
guys should go over to the
We'll
the
just go
steakhouse.
live.
Yeah.
Oh, and we
just
got to
make sure you're drinking all with like red Solo cups. Or
I was
something.
gonna, yeah.
That's
Can-
fine.
Can we
That's
get some
fine.
plastic cups, please? I
Yeah.
heard you're
Yeah.
bad with glass.
Yeah. You guys should definitely at least get a picture of you all like out there with like plastic,
We,
cutlery and
yes,
stuff
we
like
really
that.
do need to do that, Sam.
We got to figure that out.
We got to figure that out.
All right.
And you know what? We got to deal with Vinny's brother tomorrow, who's a Bruins fan.
Yeah.
Oh lordy,
Oh,
man.
jeez.
Well, you guys should go and enjoy all the festivities happening at, as Sam Woo said, this Midwestern wedding that is like nothing he's ever been to before.
There's so many different things. We're like, wow, this is new.
I just thought we were gonna get deep dish pizza.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
That's tomorrow after we go to Chicago Cut.
Yeah.
Well, Sam Woo, let's wrap this bad boy up so you guys can go enjoy.
Sam Woo's
big
gotta drink
happy
more.
Congratulations to Vinnie. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying time out there in Chicago. Devils lose again. That sucks. Bring up the
Baker's
shutout
dozen.
button. We'll be back tomorrow doing it all over again for you. Little Saturday game action up there in Boston. Game Day Live, Devils After Dark. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to thank all those tuning in. We'll have the Morning Woo tomorrow, and then we're going to be at Vinny's house for Game Day Live and Devils After Dark when the Devils take on the Boston Bruins in Boston. Thank you. Till next time, let's go Devils.